Alright guys, in the last episode we were getting the bulkheads filleted, I guess that's the word. We were doing the fillets on the bulkheads. And I showed you how to super glue them in, or epoxy them in with some quick epoxy. Get them where you want them, put the fillets in. Now we're going to do some tabbing to these bulkheads. The bulkheads, their structure, they keep everything straight, but they create the air chambers that we want, that's going to give us our buoyancy. And so the bulkheads, they do have somewhat of a structural component. They're going to keep everything from doing this number, right? So we've got the bulkheads in place. I'm not going to put like 3 layers of glass on the bulkheads. I just don't see the point. I'm going to tab them in. I'm going to do 1 layer of glass to lay up against the tabs, and then I'm going to do a full over. I'll put 2 layers of glass on these bulkheads. That's probably all that they need. They're going to stay in place. We want to ensure that they stay airtight. That chamber that's going to be sealed when we put the deck down, that same air is going to be in there forever and a day as long as this boat's in one piece. So we want to maintain a good airtight seal. We've just about done that with the peanut butter. The first layer of glass is really going to expand on that, and then the second layer of glass will ensure that we've got that seal. Plus it's going to give it some strength you know, it's not going anywhere. So the loads on these are not going to be this way. They're going to be end-to-end compression loads from the hull. But so at any rate, let's get some. This is a good time for me to use up some of these scrap pieces. I'm going to grab some scrap pieces, going to mix up a little thickened resin. That's what I've been using, and we'll wet some out and get them in place. So we got our glass, I think, fairly saturated. I'm going to take it and just open it up, and we're going to tab to the hull. I'm going to try to keep this edge below this top that you can see. I've got to go back before I cap that over. I'm going to sand that, but I'm not sanding it now because I've got so much wet resin around here it just stick to everything. So we're going to put that down just like that. And when you roll this, you don't want to force too hard in the corner because my peanut butter is still wet. That's going to give me a beautiful transition. But I don't want to roll too hard, because if I do, I'll squish all my peanut butter out. So, roll it like that. There again, y'all can see mine looks like I'm putting milk. I'm putting it in there with milk. Tap that back in there. Some of the guys you'll see are a whole lot better with these tools than I am. I'm a mere novice, and sometimes I just use my finger. Now I've found with this 1708, it's going to maintain that. Well, I've got the thickened resin in it, so it's going to stay a little bit white, but it takes a little while for this glass to relax, I guess, and clear up. The 1708 is, I mean, it's really awesome. It's a little more challenging to work with, from my understanding, but it works great. You just have to give it some time. You have to be patient. All right, guys, I'm gonna keep tabbing away. I get all these tabbed, and then we'll bring you back. All right, guys, time for a little break. We've got the tabbing done on those bulkheads back there. We're gonna do the tabbing on the front here in a little bit, but I need a little break. But before we take a break, I wanted to discuss something. I've been extremely paranoid the whole project about the lamination. If I'm seeing these guys on TV, and of course they've got years of experience, and they're laying it down, and of course on the flat surfaces I was getting pretty much the same result, rolling it with a fin roller, and it just becoming completely translucent for the most part. I've got a milky appearance to most of my work now just because of all the cavity that I've added to try to get the resin from draining out of the glass. On the vertical, the thin resin wets out good, but the slow curing epoxy, because it's thin, it has time to creep through the glass and it leaves me a little dry on top. So we've alleviated that by adding thickener to the resin, which takes it a little longer to wet out. Anyway, we've talked about this before. So we found the compromise. We've got, we're mixing it to a light ketchup and using that, and that's working great. And so all that to say this, the center stringer I left a little bit long so that I could put another brace in. I had to do some measuring and find out where the front of the deck lands, so forth, so on. But anyway, I had to cut it off. And at the time that I cut it off, I'd had 2 layers of glass already laminated to it. Of course, it had some of the milky look, and it had, what I thought was some air bubbles, and maybe they are. But anyway, the piece that I cut off, I was able to get a cross section of my lamination, and I wanted to show it to you. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So I'm feeling more confident. Well, we lost the lights. Let me get the lights back on. I've got a motion sensor in here. If I don't move around much, the lights cut out on me. But at any rate, let's take a look at this. So let me show you a piece that I cut out of the boat. If you'll look at this right here, this is a piece of a bulkhead. I would show you a piece of the stringer to match this stringer, but the stringer was pretty much rotten. I don't have anything that would hold that I could cut, but I cut a cross section of this so we could look at it. And you can see they've got a pretty good lamination on the first coating here. And then we've got plenty of room in here. A lot of air space. It didn't seem to bother the factory too much. We've got another little air pocket over here, not bad. But I think what we're doing, I know it's not perfect, but I think it's a strong improvement to what we had. So I just wanted to show you that and let you know, like I said, I'm just trying to learn this, and but if you roll it down good, I mean, you're getting a pretty good lamination there. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that so that as you work through your project, you can sort of have an idea of what's happening, how it's working, and I think that if you follow what I done, watch old Andy on Boat Works today, it may not be as perfect as his, but we're getting there, and I think we're going to have a pretty good lamination. So anyway, I'll quit rambling.